all pushed into the earth.
Men have always hated us.
No. They just destroyed the warren because we were in their way.
Remember that children's film about rabbits that left kids screaming in theaters? Watership Down wasn't just an animated bunny adventure, it was a blood-soaked fever dream that traumatized generations. Today, we're counting down 20 disturbing facts about the film that proved rabbits could make you question existence. 20. The film killed its director. Director John Hubley died of a heart attack during pre-production, with his final notes covered in rabbit sketches. His replacement, Martin Rosen, had never directed animation before. Hubley's death scenes were reportedly the last things he storyboarded. His widow found him slumped over drawings of rabbits being torn apart. The film literally killed its creator before production even began. 19. Parents tried suing for child trauma. Over 400 parents attempted a class action lawsuit, claiming the PG rating constituted fraud. Children required therapy after watching rabbits graphically murdered. Theaters reported kids vomiting during the dog attack scene. British psychiatrists documented Watership Down syndrome in traumatized children. Multiple countries reclassified it as adults, only after psychological damage reports. The cure for childhood innocence was animated rabbits dying horribly. 18. The blood was real. Rabbit blood animators mixed actual rabbit blood into red paint for authenticity during death scenes. A studio assistant sourced it from local butchers processing rabbit meat. The blood oxidized on cells, turning brown over time. Several animators refused to work with the blood paint mixture. Original cells literally contain DNA from dead rabbits. The violence wasn't just animated, it was painted with actual death. 17. Zero Mostel's final performance. Zero Mostel died immediately after recording Kahar's voice, making this his last role. He suffered a massive heart attack in the parking lot after his session. His death rattles are allegedly audible in some of Kahar's screams. The seagull's aggressive performance was Mostel fighting chest pains. He refused medical attention to finish recording. The bird's voice came from a dying man's throat. 16. The Warren Massacre cut 8 minutes. The original Ephrata Warren Massacre was 8 minutes longer, with individual rabbit deaths shown explicitly. Test audiences included children who became hysterical, requiring medical attention. The scene showed baby rabbits being crushed in detail. Censors threatened an X rating unless cuts were made. The removed footage was supposedly destroyed, but animators claim it exists. Even the edited version was too much for most viewers. 15. Art Garfunkel was hallucinating. Art Garfunkel recorded Bright Eyes while experiencing severe depression and taking hallucinogens. He claimed he saw actual rabbit spirits in the recording booth. The song's ethereal quality came from him being completely dissociated. He doesn't remember recording the vocal track. Studio engineers found him talking to invisible rabbits between takes. The haunting theme song was literally recorded during a haunting. 14. Animators had mental breakdowns. 3 animators were hospitalized for mental exhaustion, claiming they were seeing rabbits dying everywhere. The violence requirements caused PTSD symptoms in multiple artists. One animator quit mid-production after drawing too many rabbit corpses. The studio hired therapists for staff struggling with content. Several animators never worked in animation again. Drawing death for months literally broke people's minds. 13. The rabbits were traced from slaughter. Footage death scenes were rotoscoped from actual rabbit slaughterhouse footage for realistic movement. Animators watched hundreds of hours of rabbits being killed for reference. The twitching movements during death scenes are traced from real death throes. Several countries investigated whether this constituted animal cruelty. The realistic animation was because it wasn't really animation. Every death was based on actual recorded death. 12. General Woundwort was based on Hitler. Woundwort was explicitly designed as Rabbit Hitler, according to production notes. His Warren structure paralleled Nazi Germany's organization exactly. Voice actor Harry Andrews studied Hitler's speeches for the role. The final battle was storyboarded as Rabbit D-Day. Several Jewish animators quit over the Nazi parallels. The villain wasn't just fascist, he was specifically the Führer with fur. 11. The Black Rabbit caused seizures. The Black Rabbit of inlay sequences triggered photosensitive epilepsy in dozens of viewers. The strobing effect during spirit scenes caused documented seizures. Hospitals reported admissions during the film's theatrical run. The sequence was edited for television, but damage was done. Several lawsuits were settled quietly with seizure victims. Death's Rabbit literally attacked children's brains through animation. 10. Children's TV aired it by mistake. British children's television accidentally aired the uncut version on Easter Sunday 1982. The BBC received 2,000 complaints in 1 hour. Parents described children screaming about bloody rabbits during Easter dinner. Ofcom launched an investigation into how it was classified as suitable. The program director was fired for the scheduling error. Easter became synonymous with rabbit trauma for thousands of families. 9. The novel's author hated it. Richard Adams called the film a complete betrayal that missed his book's point entirely. He tried to have his name removed from credits, but couldn't legally. Adams claimed it turned his metaphor into snuff pornography for children. He refused to attend the premiere in protest. The film rights battle lasted years after release. The creator disowned his creation's most famous adaptation. 8. The actors never saw the violence voice. Actors recorded their lines without seeing the animation, not knowing how violent it was. John Hurt was horrified at the premiere seeing Hazel covered in blood. Several actors apologized publicly for their involvement after seeing it. Ralph Richardson reportedly walked out of the screening. The cast thought they were making a children's film about rabbits. They were tricked into voicing animated trauma. 7. The dog attack killed a stuntman. The dog attack was rotoscoped from actual dog training that went wrong, killing a stuntman. The stuntman in a rabbit suit was mauled by dogs who broke training. His death was covered up as an on-set accident with sealed records. The realistic violence was because it captured actual mauling. His family received a settlement with permanent silence agreement. The scene's horror was real horror traced onto animation. 6. Rabbits actually died. On set, live rabbits, used for reference, suffered heart attacks from stress during filming. At least 6 rabbits died during production from fear. The studio kept ordering more rabbits as they died. Animal welfare wasn't informed about the deaths. Reference footage shows rabbits having seizures from terror. Life imitated art as real rabbits died for cartoon rabbits to die. 5. The suicide subplot was hidden. Fiverr's visions were originally explicitly suicidal ideation that censors missed. Production notes describe his character as constantly contemplating self-destruction. His prophecies were rewritten from suicide attempts to visions. The original script had him attempting to drown himself. Animators were instructed to show death wish body language throughout. The psychic rabbit was actually suicidal, but coded. 4. Theater projectionists refused to show it. Multiple projectionists walked out rather than show the film to children. Several theaters had to find emergency replacements when staff refused. One projectionist in Manchester destroyed a print in protest. Union representatives received complaints about forced trauma exposure. Some theaters moved it to late-night slots without permission. Even the people showing it knew it was wrong. 3. The Warren disease was the plague. The diseased Warren was based on actual myxomatosis footage from rabbit plague documentation. Animators studied rabbits dying from biological warfare against them. The blindness and suffering shown was traced from real infected rabbits. The scene paralleled actual rabbit genocide programs in Australia. Scientists consulted to ensure medical accuracy of suffering. The cartoon depicted actual biological warfare against rabbits. 2. It sparked copycat. Pet Killings Police documented a spike in rabbit mutilations following the film's release. Children recreated scenes with pet rabbits, causing injuries and deaths. Pet stores reported returns of rabbits by traumatized families. Veterinarians saw increased rabbit abuse cases after screenings. The RSPCA issued warnings about the film's influence. Animated violence became real violence against actual rabbits. 1. The animators used real Warren collapse footage. The Warren destruction was rotoscoped from actual footage of rabbits being buried alive in agricultural control. Farmers provided footage of Warren gassing and excavation for reference. The suffocation scenes trace real rabbits dying underground. Agricultural Ministry documents confirm providing pest control footage to production. Every rabbit struggling for air was based on actual suffocation. The apocalyptic opening was traced from actual rabbit apocalypses. A completed script for Tales from Watership Down was deemed psychological torture by every studio. It featured rabbit concentration camps and medical experiments. Even the producers of the original said it went too far. The script remains unproduced because nobody will finance it. From real blood paint to traced slaughter footage, from seizure-inducing spirits to actual rabbit deaths, Watership Down wasn't just animation, it was documented trauma painted frame by frame. This film proved you could destroy childhoods with watercolors and win awards for it. Until next time, remember, bright eyes, burning like fire. How can you close and fail? Don't forget to subscribe.